everybody, and welcome back to Blue Jays Today, where today, guys, shocker, the Blue Jays haven't done anything yet, and other teams are starting to make all of their moves this offseason, and this is starting to put a little bit of pressure on not only the Blue Jays, but I think on a lot of Blue Jay fans in total. I mean, like, man, I'm feeling the pressure, Nick's feeling the pressure. If you're feeling the pressure, let yourself be known in the comments, because nothing is really happening. We're going to dive into what exactly does this mean, where are the Blue Jays standing right now in terms of the MLB, what our team looks like for 2024. We'll go through all of that and more in this video, guys. I'm your host, Adam Peddle.
And I'm your host, Nicholas Playlog. We are going to get to all of the stuff that the Toronto Blue Jays have been rumored to do, so stay tuned for that, everybody. We're going to talk about what's going on in the MLB with some other teams as well, because I think right now, more than ever, what they are doing really impacts the Toronto Blue Jays. So we're going to get to all of that. We're going to take a few of your questions as well, answer some of those. But I think first things first, we've got to address the fact that it is currently December 15th. It is December 15th right now. We are almost at Christmas time. I imagine that a lot of you guys have been planning your holidays out right now.
Happy holidays.
Yeah, one more week to go until you get those days off. So shout out, we're almost there.
Yep.
But it is December 15th right now, and the Toronto Blue Jays have not played in a game of baseball in 2 months' time, a little bit more than that actually, and have not made an addition, a significant addition to this team at all. They have watched guys leave. They have watched guys leave their ball team. Matt Chapman, Whit Merrifield, Brandon Belt, Hyunjin Ryu, you name it. We've watched guys walk away. They have not made a single substantial addition to this team at all, and it is December fucking 15th.
Yeah, it is, bro. So how does that make you feel? Go on. How does that make you feel?
Listen, I'm over the moon that the Blue Jays, I'm over the moon that the Toronto Blue Jays have been in all of these conversations. The Ohtani conversation, the Juan Soto conversation, the Yamamoto conversation. We're going to get to all of that and more, the Cody Bellinger conversation especially. And I'm very happy that Ross Atkins has put us in a place where we are finalists for all of these guys. We're finalists for these dudes. But we've seen your comments, and I agree with you. What the hell does that even mean? What does it mean to be a finalist if you can't push it into the end zone at the 1 yard line? I'm very happy that you are part of these conversations, and that you are competitive enough to get these guys to even come and have meetings with you. But before, we were able to hide behind the allure of Shohei Ohtani and say, okay, well, you know what? We're a finalist for Shohei Ohtani. We're not making any other moves right now because we got to wait on that guy. And we all accepted that. We sat here, we accepted that, and we said, you know what? If you get Shohei Ohtani, it doesn't fucking matter what else you do. But he's been gone now. He's been gone for a week. It was 1 week ago today that we were sitting here watching a flight tracker. That was 1 week ago. 6 days ago, he signed with the LA Dodgers. Since then, they've traded for Glasnow. They've done other things. They're in on Yamamoto. We've done diddly squat. You cannot hide behind that anymore. Where are the moves? Where are the additions?
Yeah.
Those are my thoughts right now.
Okay, those are literally my thoughts too. Well, what the hell is going on? What the hell is going on? Guys, let your thoughts know in the comments down below what the hell is going on, because I really don't know what the fuck's going on either. You look over at everybody else, you got people like the LA Dodgers, you see the Ohtani press conference, you see them trading for Glasnow. That was a big indicator right there that, first of all, Dodgers already made themselves, on top of the baseball world, if not the North American sports world, if not the entire sports world in the world. Really. He had the most jersey sales of any sports player in the first 48 hours.
That was crazy.
Of Messi. I'm not familiar with soccer. Messi and Ronaldo.
That blew me away, dude. The fact that in the first 48 hours of him signing with the LA Dodgers, more jerseys sold than Cristiano Ronaldo's Manchester United jersey, more jerseys sold than Lionel Messi's jersey, right? That's absolutely wild, right? They're going out, they're putting their team on the map right now, and they're not waiting around at all, because the Blue Jays, it's like, I feel like we're almost hung over right now, in the sense where it's like, oh my God, we didn't get Shohei Ohtani, and we got to go talk to our therapist right now, we got a deal. They're not waiting around, we're waiting around.
No, so what I was saying was, like, they've already been on top of the world. They have now made a trade with the Tampa Bay Rays to get Glasnow. That was a couple days ago. And they've already signed him to an extension, guys. big shout out to Battlegrounds. If you guys are a fan of throwing axes at the wall, hitting the targets, check out Battlegrounds. It's safe. They got coaches on site. Check it out. Battlegrounds, you go to their website.
I might need to go there, dude, just to release a little tension.
Absolutely.
You know, just to release a little bit right now. I feel like I gotta get an axe and just like hit something with it, you know?
Yeah, absolutely, man. So go check it out. If you want to get some anger out in a controlled, safe, fun environment. You got Jeff Passan saying, yes, this is the deal. He gets signed immediately, and apparently, here's the snowball effect of getting Shohei Ohtani. You bring him over, now everybody wants to play. Yeah. Imagine being Tyler Glass now and hearing, oh, they got Ohtani, and then Ohtani apparently called him. I don't have it right here. Ohtani called him saying, hey, please, come on over. And
did he call him or did he send him a video?
I'm not really sure the exact details.
He did something.
He contacted him and encouraged him to come over and play. Like, hell yeah. You go over to a team and they want to sign you, but you're like, I'm going to wait. What better team than to go over and play for the LA Dodgers? You've been on the Rays your whole life, and you are the core superstar. You're the highest paid player there. Mm-hmm. Then you go over to the Dodgers, and you're nowhere near the highest paid player. You're just being part of a big organization, and you're going to be with Ohtani? Of course you're going to sign. That's the Ohtani effect, and you're seeing it happen, and that's what happens when the Jays don't have Ohtani.
Yeah.
No moose. No one's coming over to the Blue Jays right now. Yeah. Because why would you? Everyone's going to go over to the Dodgers, and that's the moves we're seeing so far, man.
And you know what? We do need to give a massive GG to the LA Dodgers, right?
Absolutely.
There's been a lot of hate online for the LA Dodgers, and let's face it, I mean, that contract with Shohei Ohtani, a little sketchy, a little bit sketchy, but all legal. All legal, right? They were within the lines of what you're allowed to do with the MLB. So I mean, shout out, right? They are playing smart and they're getting it done. And what really put it over the top for me, right, is that they are being so active in everything that they do. They're selling these prospective free agents, these prospective trade candidates on the dream of LA. Because when they brought in Yamamoto to have that meeting, it wasn't just Yamamoto and the higher ups, the executives of the LA Dodgers. It was Mookie Betts, it was Freddie Freeman, it was Shohei Ohtani, all sitting down telling this guy why if he comes and he plays over here, we're going to win 2, 3, 4 rings together, right? It was the core of that team saying, we're doing something special over here in LA. This is why you want to come get paid over here, and you don't want to go get paid elsewhere.
Again, GG to the Dodgers, but I do have to bring it up because this is reminding me a hell of a lot of the competitive Balance Act. This is a prime example of why whatever they're doing for the Competitive Balance Act and taxing teams over a threshold doesn't effing work.
No, we knew it never worked.
It doesn't. We knew it didn't work, and this is a prime example. First, you're punting money down the line. Yeah, I know. I think it came out like $47 million per year goes against their taxes, but they don't care.
No.
And they're going to keep punting that money down the line. They're going to keep going over because they're going to keep winning and bringing in revenue with Ohtani. This is a prime example of why baseball doesn't or maybe needs to get that reworked. This competitive balance.
And also, too, everything that everybody was saying about Shohei Ohtani being a business acquisition, right, making money, it was proven correct in the first 48 hours. Yep. Because what did we just say? The most jerseys sold ever.
In literally the entire globe.
Literally.
That's
Yes.
I had friends who have never watched baseball on a day of their life, but they knew I did this show, and they were contacting me like, whoa, Ohtani, like, that's crazy. Like, that's how big of an influential impact he has on the entire world.
So I actually, they did the Shohei Ohtani press conference yesterday, and it was live on YouTube, and it was on the MLB, and I stopped in. I just wanted to stop in. Maybe I'm a sucker for punishment, right? But I stopped in for like 30 seconds just to see what they were doing and everything. And when you go through the live chat, you see our live chat right here. When you were looking at the live chat, I would say 80%, 75, 80% of the live chat was in a language that I didn't understand.
Yeah.
Right? That is that country of Japan and all of that, everyone in Asia who loves that sport watching this guy.
Right. Because if you're seeing it, right, you got Japanese, you got Korean. Were there even languages out there, like maybe Spanish?
Maybe. I don't know. I don't know.
Who knows? Because I'm thinking of like big like baseball countries, right? Like everybody in the baseball world, if I'm a baseball country, I'm in, right? We're just thinking about America and Japan, but again, like I'm saying, Korea, you've got, Dominican Republic, you got Cuba, you got anywhere where baseball is just broadcast. I would be watching this. If I'm a fan of baseball, I'm watching that.
1,000%. This is now my team I'm adopting.
Yep.
If I come from anywhere that's not in America or Canada, I'm adopting this team. So again, shout out to the LA Dodgers for getting it done. But also, where are you, Toronto Blue Jays? We got to give a big shout out here to Fatty McBeans with the $6.99 dono saying it's looking like another disappointing offseason for the Blue Jays.
Thank you for the dono, first of all, Fatty McBeans.
Thank you.
Another disappointing offseason. I mean, I hear what you're saying. Maybe you didn't like last offseason, but this is going to be kind of the first for me in a long time. Because think about our last few offseasons. Ryu we got where we weren't really expected to get much. It was hell yeah, Ryu, second in ERA, second in Cy Young. Let's go. And then you get George Springer. Hell yeah, we were super excited. Got Simeon too. We weren't excited at the time, but he ended up being great. And then you get Kevin Gausman. And then you go and you get Chris Bassett, and you make all these trades, and you sign all these people. I still felt like there was momentum. This offseason feels like the first time where momentum is dying.
Yeah.
And it feels like we're really, and you said it when we kind of lost the wild card game, but it really does feel the Blue Jays might be regressing.
Yeah,
for the first time in this 4 or 5 year span.
1,000%, dude. There has been a massive amount of hype and excitement surrounding this Toronto Blue Jays team for a while right now, and part of it has to do with the off seasons that we've put together, but a big part of it has to do with the players that we have been able to grow, right? Our core. And there's a I hate to say it, it is a great article from Barstool Sports that's out here, and talking about the Toronto Blue Jays and the path that they're on right now, and effectively, it's going nowhere. And
literally,
basically, one of their big arguments is that the core of the Toronto Blue Jays, it's good. It's just not as good as anybody necessarily anticipated it to be. And now, I think that you're seeing kind of a shift in mentality surrounding this team, because for the longest time, we weren't sure. We didn't know exactly what these players had to offer, right? There was still the element of a mystery box going on. Well, maybe Guerrero's going to get better. Maybe Bo Bichette's going to get better. And maybe they still will, right? That's always in play. That can happen with anyone at any time, at any age. But it does feel like at this point, you're starting to understand who they are as baseball players, what their strengths are, what their weaknesses are. They put together a resume with the Toronto Blue Jays. A very good resume, just not as good as I think anybody necessarily hoped for.
Look, how many at-bats is the golden rule here? I think it's 1,500. Yeah, 1,500, right? Well, let's take a look. Vladdy, right? He's had 2,500 at-bats. He's an 844 OPS, right? We can average this all out. Good, great, above average player, 131 OPS plus. Honestly, great job. Bo Bichette, you flash over. How many at-bats has he had? He's definitely had a lot. 2,100, 826 OPS. Great. You'll see a lot of Hall of Famers end up with this kind of OPS numbers. However, I think the difference is right now is you got 2 years left on these guys. Bo Bichette is different than Vladdy for many reasons, right? Bo Bichette's going to be consistent. You know you're going to get his career numbers. That's great. But you need prime Hall of Fame kind of numbers from Vladdy in the next 2 years.
Yeah.
You need it. If you don't get it, you're not going to have a great opportunity with this core to go from what they're saying on Barstool is they're a good core, but not an excellent core. Like when you look at Mookie Betts, Freddie Freeman, Ohtani, you're not close.
Exactly.
Right? So they need this guy not to just do this average. You need him to do 2021 work with the current team we have right now, or else, fuck, guys. Yeah. Or else we're just average, above average.
And let's face it, right? Guerrero's career numbers are very good, but they're not World Series winning, I'm the hero, I'm the postseason MVP. That's not what they are. They are a very, very good player.
Yes.
But it's not necessarily going to blow you away. So that's where the Jays core is at, and that's why we have been so vocal, and a lot of fans have been so vocal about, okay, we got to go out and we got to get somebody. And that was the hope of getting Shohei Ohtani, because you know he is that guy. You know that Juan Soto, he is that guy. These are players that are above and beyond. These are guys that you can trust in the postseason to get you that big hit, to hit one over the yard when you need a little bit of momentum, right? These are these superstars. We missed out on all of those. And now, again, we are at December 15th. We are a finalist for Cody Bellinger, which is phenomenal. But my biggest question to you, my biggest question to all of you guys is, where are the complimentary moves? I could understand when we were waiting on Shohei Ohtani. I could understand that because we're waiting on Shohei Ohtani, we now need to wait on his decision, because getting him or not getting him drastically changes the outcome of the offseason. But you've known now for 7 days that you're not going to get him. Where is the Michael Brantley signing? I know it's not sexy, but where is the Justin Turner signing? Where is the JD Martinez signing? We need to start doing something, anything, to get this ball club and fill these holes. So at the very least, we have a starting lineup when the regular season starts.
Yeah. I mean, I want to answer your question of like, where the hell are the moves? But I really can't. Because to me, to all of y'all, it seems so obvious. It seems so obvious to just go out and make these moves. Is it another situation where, okay, now we're actually trying to get Bellinger? I know you've been covering Yamamoto this week. Is it another situation where we have just been focusing on these guys? And now I'll ask you, if it means this, you roll the dice, you could get a Bellinger, you can get a Yamamoto, but you missed out on a lot of these core depth guys, or you take the foot off the gas pedal, lower your chances for these superstars, but you can guarantee you can acquire all these like complementary pieces. Which avenue would you go?
It's tough to say, but I don't think that I need to choose, because I don't think that by going out and getting a Justin Turner, or by going out and getting, like Jack Flaherty signed a $14 million deal for 1 year, right?
Yeah.
Like, I don't think that going and getting a guy like that, for instance, is going to take away or detract you from being able to bring in a Yamamoto or a Cody Bellinger.
Well, and I agree with you. If the thing is we have the money, let's remind ourselves, we still have $40 to $50 million to spend. Cool. That's per year, right? That's in 2024. Okay, you want to get a Yamamoto, you want to get a Bellinger. Cool. $25 million per year is what you're expected, right? Okay. Well, great. You have $50 million. You still have more. You have $25 million more dollars. You can get two dudes, two complimentary guys for that price. So yeah, I'm agreeing with you. Where the hell are the moves? I don't know. Maybe they're going to come tomorrow. Maybe they're going to come this Sunday. But if they don't come before the new year, is it time to start panicking, bro?
Well, I think it's really going to be time to start panicking because you're seeing some of these other squads go out and snatch these dudes up, right? Shout out to Kansas City and Detroit.
God.
They've been actually kind of busy, right? So it's not a question of, we're not capable of getting these smaller guys because there's bigger names on the board. No, Kansas City has signed a few dudes. They've already spent $65 million in free agency this year.
That's insane.
That's Kansas City. We're better than Kansas City. We're a bigger market than Kansas City. Why can't we go ahead and do that? Detroit Tigers, they're going out and doing stuff too, right? They are picking up the pieces of these smaller guys. I am starting to worry because if you get the update, and it's coming. It is coming. If you get the update of Cody Bellinger goes back to Chicago Cubs, now it's, let's say, December 23rd, and you haven't done anything. And then all of these other guys that you might have been able to supplement your team with, well, they've already been snatched up by the Kansas City Royals, by the Detroit Tigers, by the Miami Marlins, and these other squads who aren't necessarily going to be in on the Cody Bellingers and the Yamamotos, but still need to build their team in some capacity. So they're already out there doing it.
Yeah.
We have got to start planning for failure right here.
No.
I mean, it sucks to say, but we have got to start having the backup plan in place. So if you do miss out on Cody Bellinger, if you do get the update that he's signing a 10-year deal with the Chicago Cubs, then we're not sitting here with our hands in our pants going, oh crap, we don't have anybody.
Yeah, and you know what the sad reality is? You and I both, we've been very vocal about Matt Chapman. And I know we've been kind of bringing him up after the Ohtani stuff, because here's the reality, folks. We've been saying we don't want Matt Chapman. The bat just isn't worth the money.
Not at the price tag that he's anticipated to get.
Exactly. $25 million per year. I'm just not ready to pay for the glove when that's not the issue. It's not the glove, it's the bats that are the issue. So my biggest worry is you miss out on Bellinger. It's going to come time to, now we have to sign Chapman, because those are two Scott Boras clients right there. I got a feeling, just based on the rumors and based on experience with dealing with Scott Boras, we're going to get one of those guys. I do not want to get Matt Chapman. And the front office will get Matt Chapman back, because why? He's a fan. People like Matt Chapman. I mean, hell, my mom likes Matt Chapman. People like Matt Chapman for the reasons that we don't like Matt Chapman. I love Matt Chapman as a person. We don't like Matt Chapman because he doesn't bring offense to the team. People like Matt Chapman because he's a great defender, good ball player, good clubhouse presence.
He's an easy sell.
He's an easy sell. You can bring him back. Oh, yay! He's back. We sell tickets. We sell jerseys. Great. but we're still in the same place we were before.
Sure,
that's
yeah,
the problem.
And for what's going to be more money as well.
More
right?
money,
and that's kind of where we're at right now. I mean, it does feel like if you miss out on Cody Bellinger, then now you're looking at the offseason and you're going, we're not getting better.
No.
Like if you miss out on Cody B, then I think that you now look at this team and you go, okay, we are not going to be getting better through the offseason this year. If we're going to be better in 2024, it's because our current guys put in the work and they're going to play better. But we're not going to be able to improve. And I think that's something that we need to start kind of coming to terms with. It's like, if we get the update that Cody Bellinger is going back to Chicago, then what is the best case scenario for this offseason? You get back Matt Chapman. What, do you think that they also get Soler? Because I can't trust that they're going to do that at this point.
No clue, man.
We've been finalists in on everybody, and if we miss out on Cody Bellinger, then we will have missed out on all of these guys, right? So, okay, let's say you get back Matt Chapman at a much higher price tag than you were currently paying. You're now in the exact same spot that you were before, except you're still missing Brandon Belt. You're still missing Whit Merrifield. So now you got to fill that up somehow, right? But we're not going to be getting better if we miss out on Cody Bellinger. And I think that's why we're now starting to worry about why we haven't done anything. Where are the one-year deals? Where are the little dart throws that aren't going to take away from your argument of getting Cody Bellinger, but it's going to act as a solid backup plan for if you miss him, or it's going to act as depth, or it's going to act as maybe somebody who could become something next year if you miss out on these other guys.
Look, like I see, and I see what you're saying. I'll highlight it a little bit here. You got, like we said, shout out to whoever just subscribed. You have Vladimir Guerrero Jr., you have Bo Bichette. We know what they are. Vladdy, an 840 OPS guy. Bo, an 820 OPS guy. Great. They have potential to do better than that. Maybe, right? The only guy that's out there right now that has the bat capable of hitting equal to or better, I think, is Bellinger. You could make a case for Soler. He did it back in 2019, but that was 2019. Maybe Teoscar Hernandez, maybe, right? Like, I'm looking at here.
You're stretching it.
I'm stretching it. Yeah. I'm stretching it, right? But these are all the outfielders right now that we would sign because there's no third baseman out there. You also have JD Martinez. I mean, we're going to talk about that in a little bit. But we got JD Martinez, maybe. But everybody else is just complimentary. And that, if you're bringing in complimentary pieces, you're saying, I think Bo and Vlad, I think Bo's going to be Bo. I'm going to take him out of this conversation. I think Vlad, and I hate to put the pressure on the kid, but I think Vlad is going to be our superstar. And now you're rolling the dice. Well, you need Vlad to blow up.
Yeah, of course. Well,
because if you get Bellinger, you increase your chances of getting a superstar.
Yeah.
Right.
Well, okay. I'll put it this way, guys. And I mean, if we didn't know this already, then I'm not sure where you've been. But yeah, I mean, Guerrero's got to be good regardless. Even if we had Shohei Ohtani, if we're gonna make any noise in the postseason, if we're gonna be able to compete with the Baltimore Orioles, with the New York Yankees, now that they have Juan Soto and Verdugo, and they're probably gonna go out and get more guys. If we're gonna do that, Vlad's gonna have to be good at baseball. That's just a given, right?
Like how much, like roughly of like an OPS kind.
Well, he's gonna need to. I'll just put it this way: he's got to be better than he was last year.
Yeah.
He's got to be better than he was last year. In fact, everybody does. Every single person does, right? Getting Cody Bellinger means that you already have on paper an upgrade from your team last offseason.
Yeah.
Getting Matt Chapman back means that you're in the exact same spot, but everybody's just going to need to produce better, and that's what we're not necessarily assured of at this point. Shout out to the 554 people who are currently watching the stream. Guys, if you haven't already done so, please hit the like, hit the subscribe button, folks. We're not going anywhere. We are going to get into the JD Martinez and the Cody Bellinger rumors that are going on right now. If you've enjoyed it up until this point, the conversation about just us literally kind of crapping on the offseason so far, then let us know in the comments down below. Quick shout out to Deep Dive Jays with a $279 donation saying, how about Louis Robert Jr.? We will talk about that a little bit, but also kind of a heads up, video coming out about that tomorrow morning. So stay tuned. Let's give a quick shout out to the sponsor of this live video, though. Whoa! Time for your daily Betway breather. A quick reminder that the best place to bet is on Betway. Must be 19 years of age or older to play. In collaboration with iGaming Ontario, please bet responsibly. Now, back to the content. Shout out to Betway, everybody. If I was a betting man, then I would say that the Blue Jays would be a finalist for everybody, but finish with Noah.
Yeah, I want to get your quick thoughts on Louis Robert. Because I know I'm doing the video on it. I got all my thoughts, but like, what are your thoughts, real quick, on that?
Well, all of these rumors kind of, they feel a little bit silly to me. I mean, yeah, sure, yes, the White Sox have come out and said that they are open to trading their guys. And Louis Robert, like, this is a special player, right? That is one of those guys that you bring in and you're saying, okay, he could be better than Guerrero. He could be better than Vlad, or Bo Bichette, excuse me. He could potentially lead the team. But at the same point, what they would require in return, it would be so much, folks. I mean, it would be so much. You were telling me prior to recording this, but some of the mock trades that they have going on, you're seeing Ricky T go, you're seeing Manoah go, you're seeing
Barger.
I mean, you're seeing the entire prospect pool depleted. All of the prospects that we currently have are gone. And that's okay if you really, truly believe that he is going to be the piece that puts you over the edge for the World Series.
Yeah.
That's okay if that's what you believe. But I don't think that you can adequately say that about the Toronto Blue Jays, right? I don't think that bringing in Louis Robert Jr. is going to immediately make us a World Series candidate team. If we're going to get anybody of that caliber, I think you got to pay for it. You got to buy them. That's the only way. Because I'm not ready and willing to give up all of the prospects right now.
I agree. And you'll hear my thoughts on it tomorrow, guys. So check out that video real quick. We do have a move. Atlanta, I think this might be their first move. Someone correct me if I'm wrong, but I think they just made their first move of the offseason. Matt Carpenter, former Padre and Yankee, is going to the Atlanta Braves. Probably on some 1 year, try it again kind of deal. He traded. Oh, never mind. I didn't see. He's been so out of my mind, out of reality, out of contention, out of being a great player, that I forgot that apparently he's on the roster of the San Diego Padres, getting traded over to Atlanta. Interesting move. They're so loaded on their offense. I don't really know what. Maybe off the bench.
Bench bat.
Bench bat.
This is a solid. I mean, Matt Carpenter has shown that he is very capable in the past. I mean, I don't think that you can bank on anything with him.
Yeah.
But he certainly could be good for the Atlanta Braves. But it's stuff like this for them, right? They just need complementary pieces.
Yeah.
They already have the core. They already have the squad that could put up an 110-win season. They have a team that could win the World Series. They just need a little bit of complementary stuff. So they're already in a good place. For the Jays, and we've talked about this before, we kind of need that additional piece to make us even remotely close to their team. And I don't even think that getting Cody Bellinger is going to make us on par with the Atlanta Braves. They are still significantly better than we are. But, I mean, good move from them, just kind of filling out their depth for sure.
Yeah, good move. Hey,
sorry, go ahead.
I was going to say, a great move for the Blue Jays that, honestly, we've been kind of linked to this week. If you've been on our social media, you'll see that we've been kind of talking about it just a little bit. Blue Jays are interested in JD Martinez.
Yeah, let's talk about
Keegan Matheson coming out here. And he's saying, over here in an article, he wrote about it. He's saying that the Blue Jays, they have shown interest in Martinez. That was it. This is what sparked all these rumors by all these different, media channels kind of coming. It was just this comment right here. And it looks like just doing some deep dive research that Martinez is looking for a 2-year deal, kind of prove it. Martinez, a little bit older. But I like this a lot because he's literally your Brandon Belt replacement minus the ability to play first base. He's an outfielder. So primarily your DH. If you're comfortable getting Ohtani, you could be comfortable getting JD Martinez. Someone brought up in the chat, and shout out to whoever brought this up in the chat, but with runners in scoring position, this dude has a 1.025 OPS. This has been the biggest problem. This guy produces runs, and we knew that. But this guy, it's pretty electric. I don't really care. Spend the money. Just get JD Martinez. This is kind of my target as well. If we don't get a Bellinger, or screw it, get Bellinger, get this guy too. Who cares?
Well, I think
what are your thoughts?
But that's got to be the mentality, right?
Absolutely.
JD Martinez is not the solution to this team by any stretch of the imagination. He would be a complementary piece to come in and be Brandon Belt. And I also want to put out that Brandon Belt, he was a very nice surprise.
Yes,
Nobody anticipated him to finish with the highest OPS on the Toronto Blue Jays. He was coming in initially just to be a guy, maybe get Vladimir Guerrero Jr. off of his feet a little bit. He was a little bit banged up too. Signing with the Toronto Blue Jays. He was a great surprise. JD Martinez, he's got the potential to be that and be more than that. So this would, in my opinion, be even a little bit of an upgrade at that DH position. Somebody who could come in and bat fifth in the lineup consistently for the Toronto Blue Jays. Can I promise you that there's not going to be a little bit of regression? No, I can't. He's 36 years old. He's going to be turning 37. So at any given moment, this could be the last stretch for JD Martinez.
Yeah.
And let's face it, you always got to wonder with these veterans, right? Because sometimes they're thinking to themselves, I'm going to get my last final payday, and I'm going to call it, right? There's going to be a lack of motivation there, potentially. But he's put up an incredible career. Could even be a Hall of Famer.
Yeah, look at those numbers, bro. He has 1,000 RBIs, 874 OPS over his career. He had an 893 OPS resurgence last year. Look, he wants a 2-year deal. You got Bo, you got Vlad for 2 years. I don't see why you don't smash that deal. Well, how much does he want? I can't even
I would imagine that his market value, it's got to be what?
20,
15, 16? No, it can't be more.
I could imagine
20.
I could imagine.
For a 36, 37-year-old,
who put up almost a 900 OPS and 103 RBIs. I can believe it.
If it's $20 million a year for $40 million for 2 years, I'm out.
I think look, if money's not an object, you just go do it.
Well, okay, money's not an object. I don't give a shit. You know?
Exactly.
You sign whoever you want if money's not an object.
Look,
but if money does become part of the concern here, where you're going to be missing out, and this is part of the conversation that we never see, right? Okay, you sign JD Martinez to a $20 million a year deal. Who do you miss out on, right? Were you going to then go get another pitcher that you miss out on and we just never hear about? Maybe. We don't know. Right? If you're still okay with going out and getting more guys, then sure, sign him to a $50 million a year contract. I really don't care. Market value here from Spot Rack. Granted, they are typically off. They could be underestimating here, but they have it at $15.4 million. That's where I was thinking that he would be at. You never know. 15 to 20, something like that. I would be okay with it, but again, this is not the sexy offseason move that's going to put us over the top either.
No,
this is a complimentary piece.
I think, look, if I think about the Blue Jays right now, there's 3 holes, like 3 glaring holes in my opinion. There's third base. There is another outfielder, and I mean these could be also multiple guys because then you also have that cleanup hitter, and the cleanup hitter is what we saw missing last year. You didn't have anyone consistently batting fourth to protect Vlad and Bo. They kept getting sliders away, right? You got to put somebody there to impose a threat, so you have to pitch to those guys, and that would be an easy great cleanup. You know, he's not going to play left field or outfield or center field or whatever. He's not going to play third base, but he will bat fourth every day as long as he's healthy for the Toronto Blue Jays.
Probably. Yeah. Probably he would. Yeah. Again, I think that JD Martinez would be a fabulous acquisition to this team, and I would be very happy if they go out and get it done. This would not be the be-all and the end-all, though, of the offseason. There's still got to be a lot more moves to get done. But it's stuff like this as well. Why aren't we doing this?
Right.
JD Martinez isn't the top guy available here, right? I think that you can go out and you can get JD Martinez and still be in the conversations for Cody Bellinger and just make yourself feel a little bit more comfortable about this offseason. I love that you're in on Yamamoto. I love that you're in on Cody Bellinger, but based on what we have watched up until this point, I cannot feel comfortable that you are going to get those guys.
Yeah.
I mean, we've been hurt a few times this offseason. I cannot be comfortable that you're going to do that. Let's start getting the JD Martinez's and just lock it down.
It's got to be quick, man, because again, like we brought up earlier in this video, if other teams getting those just complimentary roles where, fuck it, man, just give me Michael Brantley. You know what I mean? Because at least if, again, like the 3 issues I said, we need another outfielder, right? Because we literally only have that played on the active roster for most of the season that's still here is George Springer and Varsho. You have right now, let me flash it over. You have right now Nathan Lucas, and granted, respect to Nathan Lucas, right? He earned it. He earned it from last year. But you have him as our third outfielder right now. I'm sorry. We can't have that if we're trying to win a World Series or even make a deep postseason run. You need another outfielder. Just go sign. There's so many out there, man. I had it up there earlier. Go sign anybody just to give yourself depth in case you miss on Bellinger. And now, if you get Bellinger, great. He's your 4th outfielder now. Just go do it, man.
Jesus
what are we waiting
Christ.
for?
Look at this.
Seriously, let's talk about this.
Take a look at this lineup, everybody. I mean, we all know the names, and there's a lot of bias associated with Toronto Blue Jays fans, I think, with these guys, right? When we look at Davis Schneider, we just anticipate that he's going to be phenomenal. But if this was another team, right? If this was another team, let's say that this was, I don't know, Kansas City's lineup.
Yeah.
Right? And you're looking at this, you would not be feeling good about this lineup. We would be talking down about this lineup. We'd be saying, okay, well, Bo Bichette somebody, Guerrero somebody, George Springer, he's a little washed. Danny Jansen, he's a little inconsistent, can get injured.
Kevin
Biggio, oof. Not sure about that one. Davis Schneider, who is that guy? Was he hot for a month?
Yeah.
Dalton Varsho, not sure about that. Kirk, bad year last year. Nathan Lucas, what?
Who's this guy? Who's
right,
this dude?
so if you take away the bias, and again, I love all these guys, and I want them all to hit their ceilings, and if they do all hit their ceilings, we're laughing. But are they all going to hit their ceilings? No, they're not.
No.
It's not going to happen, right?
And I do think, I just want to also sprinkle in, because I have been thinking about this lately, is last year, everyone didn't hit their ceilings and then some. Like, everyone really underperformed. So you do expect someone to bounce back, but still, I agree with you. Like, okay, look, bias, Kevin Biggio, last year I loved him batting fifth. Like, at the end of the year.
Yeah.
I was like, hell yeah, this guy's elite. He's hot. He's batting over 800 OPS. Great. Right? But right now, as your third baseman, no. So you got to fill out that hole right here, third base. You got to fill out this hole right here. If you can get 2 bats to slide up, push Danny down to 6, I'm much more comfortable with that. Look, I love Danny. I love him. When he's hot, he's hot. He's great. He can smash a lot of homers. But I need a guy who can give me consistent batting average, on base, all that. Not just pop a few homers in the fourth spot.
There's a few too many question marks in this lineup.
Yeah.
Also, massive shout out to the person that just subscribed, everybody, to Johnny T right there. If you guys haven't already done so, please smash the subscribe button, folks. If we can get to 22,000 subscribers by the end of the year, that would be absolutely phenomenal. Yeah, hell, if we could get there by tonight, that'd be even crazier.
My God.
So subscribe to the channel if you haven't already done so. This lineup here, there's just a few too many holes. And I mean, you can walk in with a couple question marks. You can, right? Every team's going to walk in with a few question marks. You can't expect to have locked in dudes from 1 all the way through 9. But I would feel so much more comfortable if Nathan Lucas was on the bench. If, either Biggio or one of those guys was on the bench.
Yeah.
Right? And you were just walking in with a Davis Schneider question mark and with maybe an Alejandro Kirk question mark being like, can he bounce back? That's a lot more palatable for me rather than walking in with an entire bottom half of the lineup where you're going, I just don't know what to expect with these guys.
It's really simple, man. Like, kind of like I pointed out right there. Change this outfield spot. Again, no disrespect to Nathan Lucas. And change the third base spot. Because look, Schneider and Biggio, if they want to platoon, Schneider, Biggio, Espinal, if they want to platoon second base, cool. I'm cool with that. Like, but if you go add just hypothetical, one of our best case scenario situations, you get like a Matt Chapman and you get a Bellinger, the lineup completely changes. Obviously, adding 1 or 2 guys changes. Okay, we'll go a little bit further, maybe a little bit further down. Like we're just talking about a JD Martinez in the DH spot. You move Danny. Now you have Danny maybe in the Kirk spot right here, and then you go add Jock Pederson, who has been shown he can hit around his 800 OPS from time to time. So you go JD, Jock, then you've got Danny, then you've got like Biggio and Schneider over here. It's starting to look a little bit more appealing, more depth, more guys that can drive in runs.
Question for you. Question to the chat. Do you guys feel comfortable walking into the season with Kevin Biggio in a starting role? Being the starting guy he would be the starting guy at either second base or third base. Are we comfortable with that?
I'm okay if it's second base, not third. Granted, I think I'm more PTSD from him 2021, like botching it over there at third base. He was a lot better. He played a few games there, small sample size, but I do not feel comfortable him starting at third. If he wants to start opening day, for example, splitting time with Schneider at second, cool. I'm cool with that. There's no second baseman out there that's gonna really like get better, other than Whit Merrifield, right? So like we're kind of stuck with that reality. But we got to get a third baseman. I mean, what are our options? That's the problem too.
Do we feel
Go ahead.
Do we feel comfortable with Davis Schneider being a starting guy, walking and being a locked-in player, locked in? What do you guys think about that? Davis Schneider, obviously very good for 1 month of baseball, but not really a proven commodity.
Biggio and Schneider need to have the split role. They if they're separated and they're starting individually, damn, we're in trouble.
Well, that's the thing, because I would feel much more comfortable, same with you, having both of those guys play one position together.
Yeah.
Because I don't think, here's the thing, I don't think and I don't know if they're both going to hit, but I feel like one of them might. And if one of them might, then that can be that player, and he can win that job. And maybe you even get a situation where one of them hits for a few months and then the other one takes over.
That's what I'm thinking.
And that's the luxury of having them in that, in one position. But if you're forced to have both of them locked into the lineup every single time, I just don't think that anybody in their right mind can say that, oh yes, we know for sure that David Schneider and Kevin Biggio are going to be competitive baseball players with the bat and the glove in 2024. Because you're right, there is some PTSD associated with Kevin Biggio starting at third base. I do not want to go back to the dark days. We've lived with Matt Chapman now. We know what it's like to have somebody who can fire laser beams, from third base.
I'm having some I'm not PTSD. I'm having some scary realizations that, because I don't want Matt Chapman back on the team. I'm gonna say it frank, just because of just the bat. Okay, if he comes back because we missed out on Bellinger, I guess it is what it is. If that's what the Rogers and Atkins want to do, okay, I don't agree with it, but I get it. It is what it is. But I'm realizing after that, Lan, you either got to make some sort of creative ass trade, or call up the guys. Well, I think or Justin Turner or some shit like that.
Listen, I don't want to put a whole lot of emphasis on this trade proposal because I do think it's kind of ridiculous, but I think that what you're feeling is why you're seeing Toronto Blue Jays fans take to Twitter, take to the internet, and start creating these rumors about Jose Ramirez, because everybody's looking at this team right now and going, okay, do we really want to pay Matt Chapman $200 or $175 million? Do we really want to be walking into a situation where Kevin Biggio is the starting guy? Hell no to either of those, right? Jose Ramirez would be phenomenal, but it's just unlikely, right? You're not going to make a trade like that.
And I don't mean to be absolutely to bring everyone some sort of depression right now, but the reality is it's looking more and more likely that we're not going to have a stud at third base this year.
Probably.
You know what I mean? If we're not getting Chapman, I've already kind of counted that out in my mind. We're not getting Chapman back. It's a platoon situation. We know we're not getting someone for second base. There's nobody out there other than Manfield who's not coming back. This is the reality. Third base and second base is going to be internal guys. That most likely will be the option.
Okay. Well, I got to ask, why are you just counting yourselves out from having Matt Chapman because you don't want it? Or because you have a reason to believe that the team wouldn't do it? Because I think that the team could still do it.
I think they could still do it, yes. But more likely than not, I don't think Matt Chapman's going to be a Blue Jay because he is the prime third base guy out there. And multiple teams are interested in getting a Matt Chapman, including the Cubs, too. However, so we don't really know for sure where he's going to go. That being said, too, it all depends. This is the fucking problem with the whole offseason. It all depends on Bellinger, those bigger dominoes to fall for us to then decide where does Matt Chapman go. You know what I mean? Because I do think, this is my prediction right now, I'm going to say it right here. I think Cubs and Blue Jays, one of them might get Bellinger and Chapman. That's what it feels like.
Okay, well, in that regard, then, I'm going to put it back on you and say, well, I think we have a pretty good chance, if that's the scenario, to get him back.
But most likely, out of just playing the entire situation of the Blue Jays offseason, we're probably not getting Matt Chapman back.
Right? Would you say that we are the favorites to get? What does the fucking word favorites mean? Exactly. I would say that we gotta be one of the favorites. I don't want it.
No, I don't want it either.
Because I think it's gonna be too much money. Yeah. But I really, it's starting to look like, for me, in my perspective of things, that we are going to miss out on Cody Bellinger. Yeah. And that we are going to overpay for Matt Chapman because we're forced into this situation. Yeah. And then we're just going to have to stomach the fact that Matt Chapman gets paid $25, $26, $27 million a year. And that's basically the big move of the offseason. And then maybe you bring in a Michael Brantley, or maybe you bring in, one of those, I want to say complimentary pieces, but really it's just a bench bat piece, right? That now becomes the offseason. That's why in the title it's saying why fans should be worried. Because I think that we're walking into a situation right now where, yes, we're going to overpay for Matt Chapman, and that'll be the big bat acquisition. The guy we already had.
Yeah, for me, it's straight up this. You miss out on Bellinger, you're not getting a nice big bat acquisition or a nice acquisition. I'm kind of, I know we're going to bring it up in a little bit about Yamamoto, but we're not getting Yamamoto.
Well, let's talk about that right now, guys. Let's talk about that.
Right. Just to finish my thought, though, talking about why you should be worried is when you miss out on Bellinger, nothing looks good. Nothing looks good at all for the Toronto Blue Jays. Really, unless you literally make some hero thing where you get Hoskins, you get Soler, and get all these other pieces. Really, nothing's looking promising.
Right, and anything that we conceive of at this point would then kind of be a fantasy land situation, you know? Fuck, I wish we had Ohtani. Let's talk about Yamamoto, everybody. The Toronto Blue Jays were reportedly going to be meeting with this guy. Potentially that meeting has already happened, although we haven't heard that yet. It came out a few days ago that they were going to be there. And they've been listed as one of the teams that's a finalist for them. They kind of got the Mets, they got the Yankees, they got the Dodgers, they got the Jays. Yeah. I think the Giants are involved too.
The Red Sox too, I think, as well.
Red Sox might be involved, right? But those feel like the kind of the 6 squads that are in on Yamamoto. And I would love to acquire Yoshinobu Yamamoto. This would, to me, be a off-season saving move. Yeah. Even though it's not necessarily an area of need for us, we have great pitchers. That would extend the pitching window, right? Because eventually Gosman's going to be bad at baseball. Eventually Bass is going to age. They're going to get older, right? Or their contracts will expire. But if you get a 25-year-old locked down for 10 years, you're laughing, right? And that is what it's looking like to be for this dude. It just does feel, though, that with the Dodgers doing what they're doing, with the Yankees doing what they're doing, is there any logical chance that we could potentially actually steal this dude away from those juggernauts? No,
I mean, I saw a pie chart, I think it was MLB Network, and it's similar pie chart to what we were doing with Ohtani. And it was, a section Dodgers, a section Yankees, a section Red Sox, a section Mets, too. Mets are in the conversation. And then there was a bunch of little slivers.
Yeah.
And we're in that tiny little sliver, right? We're like what I don't even know, who was a small sliver in Ohtani? I don't even remember them at this point. The Braves, maybe?
Sure.
Right? We're like that odds. Like, we're on the outside.
Yeah.
And I really don't see us getting any more aggressive going in because of the same reason. It's just not a need. Right? We're not going to go... Ohtani was a need. Left-handed power bat, superstar, going to change the franchise forever. Whereas Yamamoto won't have that same effect and is a pitcher. So for me, we're on the outside looking in.
I'll tell you right now, guys, we are going to be in a load of pain, a load of hurt, if he goes to the New York Yankees.
Oh, it's going to be horrible.
I really, truly believe that he does go to the LA Dodgers, and then we just would if we even made it to this point, would have to deal with them in the World Series. Because if he goes to the New York Yankees, and I thought about this the other day, I think it was a tweet that brought this up. If he goes to the New York Yankees, now you're looking at a team with already, their lineup's getting a lot better, but their rotation, their top 3 goes Garrett Cole, who just won Cy Young. He's not going anywhere.
Yep.
Carlos Rodon, who's going to be healthy this year, and that was the big problem with him. He was not healthy that year. And then you got Yoshinobu Yamamoto. And that's a top 3 that, in my opinion, probably better than our top 3. It just, pound for pound.
Yep.
I don't know what their depth is like, but if you have those 3 pitchers
Clark
with
Schmidt,
then...
Nestor Cortez.
Right?
Really
that's what I mean, right? You have those pitchers, and then on top of the fact that you have Aaron Judge and Juan Soto, who are capable of going 50 bombs in Yankee Stadium. Now you're looking at a team that, at their floor, won 80 games last year, and that was their floor. They could push 100.
Yeah, even with or without Yamamoto, right now, you're looking at the Blue Jays, we're falling behind. We are falling so behind. 'Cause every move they make, we got to make an equal move to even keep up with them, right? Like, they made the Juan Soto, well, now we have to go Bellinger, right? I know, we had a better record than them last year, but... Juan Soto, that's going to change your lineup a lot, and that was the big problem with them. Yeah. We got to go punch for punch right now. If we don't add Bellinger, then we're unmatched.
And the more that I think about it, man, the 80 wins that the Yankees had last year, that is an anomaly.
It was kind of
they were walked into the season. Everybody thought walking into the season they were going to win that division.
They were really injured too.
They were really injured. They did have some bad performances for sure, but they were really injured the whole time. And I just feel like a lot of the dominoes didn't fall the right way for them.
Yeah.
I don't think that we can expect that from them. Now I'm looking at that team and going, okay, they are going to bounce back. There is momentum on their side.
Yeah.
They could push 90 wins for sure.
Yeah.
God, I can't believe we didn't fucking capitalize.
Yeah.
Dude,
you're also don't even forget they also got Alex Verdugo.
Oh yeah,
just a little complimentary piece, and they already addressed a complimentary piece in a way.
For sure.
We literally haven't done anything, so we need to get Bellinger and a complimentary piece. But yeah,
Alex Verdugo's a player.
Yeah.
He's not a Mookie Betts level player in that trade that happened. But again, he is still a very capable MLB player who could do what Lourdes did last year.
Yeah.
No problem. No problem, right?
Sure.
That's a guy that you want in your lineup, and they have that dude right now. I am worried about the New York Yankees, and I'm worried, and I think that article that we flashed up a little while ago from Barstool Sports kind of paints the picture right now that you are looking at an AL East, a very competitive AL East, that has the Baltimore Orioles really on the come up, because they haven't even hit their potential with all their prospects,
and they haven't even made any moves, and they're still better than us.
Haven't even spent any money.
Yep.
Haven't spent any money. Haven't got all their prospects yet. They could be in the mix next year or something like that for some of the big free agents. So they're on the come up. And then you also got the Yankees who are saying, "No, we're not going to win 80 games next year. We're going to win. We're going to push 90. We're going to push 100."
Yeah.
And you got the Jays who are kind of sitting here and going, okay, like are we a third place squad? Are we a wild card team?
Like right now we're third place at best with the team we're currently rolling out there. You saw the lineup, guys. We're third place at best. Like I just don't see a reality where we're. I mean, unless you get some regressions from the Orioles and they don't make any moves to their pitching staff, like we're third place at best. You know what I mean?
That hurts to admit.
It hurts, but it's true. Right now with this team, and this is why we should be worried. We are looking down. And I know there's still a lot of moves to be made, but we got to do it soon, man. If we don't get a move before this new year, fuck, I'm worried.
Well, let's talk about Cody Bellinger real quick. And we have discussed this at length already. But the Jays are considered, and take this with a grain of salt, finalists. Bob Nightingale came out and he said that his prediction was the Toronto Blue Jays. Right. So that is something that transpired. He does believe that the Toronto Blue Jays are going to get Cody Bellinger. And we've been down in the dumps this entire stream, this entire podcast. If you get Cody Bellinger, I don't want to say that we're all the way back, but we're almost all the way back. Because that is one of the few moves that I can get behind and I can go, all right, we're buying all the way in on Cody Bellinger right now. Yeah, hell, right here. Right, this is from his article saying this leaves a two-way battle between the Cubs and the Toronto Blue Jays for the former MVP prediction. Blue Jays, that's what Bob Nightingale wrote. If Toronto gets Cody Bellinger, this now feels like a completely different offseason, and it feels like the momentum completely shifts from going downwards to now you're back. You're back on the upswing. You know, you have something to play for in 2024.
I'll admit it right here. We sign him. We're obviously going to go live for that live stream. My mood completely changes. It's not, okay, we got Bellinger. Now let's go and let's add, let's get a third baseman. I don't care. Let's make a trade over here. Let's go get Willie Adames. I saw someone, shout out to whoever just donated, saying, you want Adames? Yeah, let's go do that. Let's go make these moves, right? We can do anything now because once you spent the money, now you know what your rest of your money is. Yeah. Because that's been the big problem. Okay, we got this big domino down. Let's go, man. But are they going to do it? That's the big problem. It feels like he's a Cub. Maybe I'm a doubter. Maybe the Ohtani thing scarred me. But it makes a lot of sense for him to go to the Cubs. I don't know. What do you?
Of course.
Where are you sitting right now, man?
Of course it does. But you got to do something. You got to get something for this squad. So yes, it feels like the Cubs right now. Maybe tomorrow it feels like the Blue Jays. It is very important that they go out and, like you said, go pound for pound with the New York Yankees. Acquiring Cody Bellinger immediately makes everybody feel like you are fulfilling your promises. And I'm talking to Ross Atkins because in all of those press conferences, the word on the street was, we are still going to extend the winning window. We're going to do that. So when we were in on Shohei Ohtani, we were clinging to those words and we were going, okay, this is what they mean. And we were in on Juan Soto, we were clinging to those words going, this is what they're talking about. We haven't seen anything like that, and I think that's why a lot of us are going, okay, clock's ticking right now, December 15th, where are the moves? You get Cody Bellinger, now I'm bought back in again, and I believe you about extending the winning window. There is a lot of doubt that's creeping inside me right now, though, saying, that's just words. You just said a bunch of words to make me okay with it. Yeah. But where is the winning window? I'm seeing it go over there to the New York fucking Yankees.
I wonder, too, just to add on to that, I wonder, too, if we do miss it, this is a completely different topic. If we do miss out on Bellinger, on any other kind of big guy that's going to command like 5 or 6 years, do we just say, okay, we got all this money saved up, do we go and extend Bo or Vlad?
Well, that's a conversation that hasn't. Yeah, that's a conversation that has not been had yet. Right. I think it's tough to say because I don't think that this team knows what their future holds.
Yeah.
The future of the Toronto Blue Jays is more unclear now than maybe it's ever been. Because if you extend Bo and you extend Vlad, you want to continue the potential winning window there, right? You want to have these pieces and still be competitive. But I'm not sure if the team's necessarily locked in on that mindset. Sure, they came out and said it, but if we miss out on Bellinger and if we have a shitty offseason and then you walk into next year and you are the team that wins 80 games or you win even less than that, right? You have a very disappointing season. At that point, are you thinking to yourself, oh, you know what, I want to extend these guys? Or are you thinking maybe it's time to ship them off and bring up some of the young guys? I think they kind of want to keep that option on the table.
I think, I'm still going to hope that their words are true and think that they're going to try and do whatever it takes to win beyond Bo and Vlad. So if they do go out in that reality that you're saying and win 80 games, it's going to become even more desperate. You're going to try. I think you're going to try until the point comes where if you get to that point where 80 games, you win 80 games like the Yankees last season, you have one more year left of Bo and Vlad, you're still not getting any noise from the free agents, you go, okay, we're going to try one more extension of Bo and Vlad. If you miss out, then we're going to have to shift gears. Because right now I think they're full set sailing towards win. It's going to take a lot to go wrong for them to go and start losing again, to be okay with going in that direction.
Okay, so let's put it this way then. Do you think that Bo or Vlad would want to sign an extension right now?
Maybe if they like the city, they like the team, they like the organization, they're getting paid right, I don't see any reason why not to. I mean, they've been winning a lot. They have one down year. If you propose to them a plan of how you're going to get back through this next window, maybe, it's options definitely available.
Maybe, right? Correct me if I'm wrong, chat. I thought that I heard that there was, because I think they did actually come out and talk about this, and I know we're being hypothetical, but the word on the street was, we addressed this and we're not going to talk about this anymore.
Like the extension talk?
Correct, yeah.
Like Ross Atkins and
a few months ago, right when the offseason started, I thought it came out that they had said, we had talked about this, and we said, we're not going to talk about this right now. Right, we're going to talk about it later.
Yeah.
Right? And that was kind of the word
that was
on
the conversation
street.
I know that was kind of the feeling for at least this offseason.
Yes. So this offseason, just to be clear, folks, from our standpoint, we don't think that this is actually something that's going to happen, but maybe if you miss out on everybody, you try to re-engage in that conversation and you go, listen, we missed out on everybody. We do have this money to spend. Maybe we try to lock in some of our guys and extend that winning window.
Yeah, man, it's tough, guys. We're speculating a ton on what moves can make, what realities are going to, transpire if they do or do not make certain moves. But there's one thing for sure and that I'm feeling, and it's that it's very unknown. It's kind of scary, man. Because we could. I'm more leaning towards right now that our next season is, hey, if we make wild card, wow, that's a positive. Like that's hopeful.
It can't be that way.
We played NHL 18. You have teams kind of ranked by hopeful contender, Stanley Cup, contenders, all that kind of stuff. We're kind of dipping into the hopeful contender. We might be in the mix in the pool with the Rays, the Red Sox. The other teams around the AL that are just maybe we sneak into the Mariners.
Yeah, of course.
Which is sad.
Yeah, of course. I mean, it's very difficult to be positive looking at the climate of the American League and what some other squads are capable of doing.
Oops.
Blue Jays can get back into this offseason, but it requires them to actually go out and get it done. We have not seen that yet. So please, Ross, if you're watching this, go out, make some freaking moves.
Do it, man. I feel like we covered it all, bro.
Yeah, guys, let us know the thoughts in the comments down below, everybody. Thank you so much for everybody for tuning in and everything like that. We didn't really take too many questions today, but we'll go live again very soon, and we'll kind of we'll gear it towards more just answering the questions and talking about what it is that you guys are talking about. I felt like this was more of just a therapy session to get out the thoughts about this squad. We appreciate everyone coming and watching with us on this beautiful Friday night. Please have a wonderful weekend, guys. Hit the like, smash the subscribe button. Big shout out to Nathaniel Rice for a $10 donation coming in late saying FYI, contrary to recent reports, Ohtani didn't say the flight tracker. So that streams were funny. He said he was surprised.
Oh, because of Japanese translation. Yeah.
Right.
That was a whole other thing. He was saying that, like, oh, he thought it was funny, but the translation wasn't correct. He thought he was surprised. Because, like, one sounds like he's a dick, one sounds like he's a normal person.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, interesting. Well, you know what? Ohtani's a Dodger forever right now.
I want to beat him.
Yeah, I want to beat him for good, dude. I want to beat him forever, man.
Guys.
Thanks so much for watching, everybody.
And as always,
Go Jays, go!